Hello and welcome back, I'm Ligo and this is My Life in Football Manager episode 53 today. And since last time there's been a lot going on to catch up with and it's all been good news, so if you like the episode do leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe to the channel for more Football Manager content on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. And now with the introduction out of the way, let me catch you up where we left off. And last time we left off with a defeat to Rangers. It was a 1-0 defeat in the Champions League. Unfortunately, the next game we went and drew with Ajax and we got dumped out of the Champions League. It wasn't good. So after the draw with Ajax, we actually lost in the league to Southampton and I decided there was a change that needed to be made. And starting with the Everton game in December, I have reverted back to the 3-5-2 that we were playing at Sunderland with a slight tweak, a bit more aggressive. And as you can see, since then we've had really one blip against Bristol City. Other than that, it was a draw against Man United, a draw against Liverpool, and except for that, it's win after win after win, so all looking good. And there's the tactic, and more of a 3-5-2 now, rather than playing with wing backs, we're playing with out and out defensive wingers. So what that's done to the league now looks like this. We are still second, still hunting Chelsea down, and look at that top 5, possibly include Spurs as well. The top 6 are just running away with this. I mean, even Spurs, 49 points from 24 games. Any other season, you'd be very happy with that. Or it's going to be so tight at the top. I mean, the fact that we're scoring a bunch load of goals as well, and we're reasonably tight at the back. I think we've got the second best defence in the league. But since the switch to the 3-5-2, everything is really just clicking into place. A few players still playing a little bit out of position compared to what they used to, but they're very much getting used to it. Going back to what's been happening competitions-wise, Champions League, there's confirmation that we were knocked out third place, so we're down into the Europa Cup. We're going to be playing Saint Etienne in the first knockout round of that. The Carabao Cup, we're through to the final against Spurs, so that's coming up. That will probably be the next episode, considering that's a month from now. And the FA Cup going well as well, through to the 5th round, although we've got a tricky tie against Liverpool. Just before we move on to the game, if it comes to the squad, everybody's looking reasonably healthy, a few suspensions, a couple of niggly injuries, but a lot of green here in the form column. Everybody's happy with their playing time. The only unhappy member we've got is Aguilar. I had to leave him out of the Europa League squad, so he's unhappy about that, but he's not a main player, and if he gets too unhappy we can move him on. And what you'll also notice is there's a couple new faces in here. Just finished up with January transfer window, so let's go catch up on what's happened there. And it was a reasonably quiet one. We only had one big transfer coming in, and that was Jesus Gonzalez, 31 million from Atletico Madrid. He was already pre-arranged and he is a goal scorer. Looking at his attributes, you might not think he's the best goal scorer. He's already scored 4 goals in, what's that, about 6 games for us, including a couple of substitute appearances. But if we come back to his history, and granted it's not in the first team, but since he came through as a regen, if I just scroll through here and look at the bottom, the amount of goals he's scoring for Atletico Madrid in, granted, non-competitive games, but he's scoring more than a goal a game. So gambled 31 million on him, and he's paying that back already. Comes straight into the team. Keeping Bazoubar out as well, which didn't expect that after Bazoubar being our main striker last year. But the other addition we've got to the squad is Jose Perez, coming as a defensive winger, really. He's an attacking fullback, but gonna keep him as a defensive winger. Decent current ability, fitting straight in with the team, and he's also got bags of potential, 5-star potential, so plenty of room to grow as well for him. So that's the new faces. Let's have a look at the transfers out. I don't think there was anything really in the transfers out, thinking back. And looking at it there, no real transfers. Fidel, who didn't have a work permit, so was out on loan. We got 7 million for him. There's a player that came in on a free, moved him on for several million. Very happy with that. And I suppose the main transfer, actually looking at this, was Joe White, playing a fair amount of games for us and not scored in the league, but was scoring a decent amount of goals in the cup. But with the other striker coming in, I wanted him to get more game time, so he's gone out to Rennes. Hopefully he can score a few goals in the French Ligue 1 and really come back into this team and really bolster the squad up front, because he will be homegrown as well. We picked him up from United as a youngster. He's still only 18, so eventually will be homegrown at club if he stays. So now we're all caught up, I'll get the team picked and I'll come back to you. So this is the team we've got for City. Carvajal in goal, back three of Lopez, Sandoval and Luis, Holtzweiler in front of them, midfield four of Philippe, Vieira, Hercules and Tarico, and Bazuba and Vargas up top. Bazuba playing as a complete forward. It's not really ideal for him, but Vargas is on fire at the moment. Bazuba not really scoring, so I'm going to let him play a little bit deeper because every time he just seems to get in at the moment, he's not doing the business in front of goal. So let the man in form be the one in front of goal. And another star-studded City team to take on. Haaland still at City. Surprised he's not moved on, but I mean, City doing well. Unfortunately, we've picked up an early injury to Eduardo Luis, which is a bit tricky. We're kind of running out of centre-back. What I'm actually going to do here is juggle this around and let Philippe come play as a ball-playing defender. It's not his best position, but he can do it. And we'll give Aguilar a run out on that left-hand side. So a bit of a shuffle round, not planned. 20 minutes in as well, not ideal. We'll just shout a bit of encouragement to the team. But what Aguilar does offer down that left-hand side is a bit more of a natural winger as opposed to Philippe. That's City coming forward with the first chance, and it's very poor one at that. And we're not managing to muster anything. Again, City with set play this time. Tarico does well. Can we get a counter-attack? We have got counter-attack here. Vieira carrying the ball forward and we're bursting forward in numbers. We've got players over on the far side. Vargas doesn't need them. He goes alone and it's a good save from Ederson. And that looked a bit more promising. If we can only get a few more of them. This time we start with Carvajal at the back and that's a poor kick from him. Haaland's first to the ball and not got his shooting boots on. Haaland in FM21 doesn't seem to be as prolific as what he is in real life. Don't know about anybody else. When I've had him in previous saves, I can never get the best out of him. I've also used him in the fantasy draft online. I can't get him scoring. If you can get him scoring, let me know down below in the comments. What role do you use him in? Do you use him in a two-striker system or as a sole striker? Because yeah, I just can't get the best out of him. But looking back to the game, ball ping-ponging around a little bit, but we've managed to retain possession. We're knocking it around nicely. Not really any creativity, and we go for a long ball forward. It's interrupted by City, who, again, their passings let them down. It's a bit of a nothing game between two good teams here. But Vargas has got the ball. Can we make something here? We've got Aguilar over on the left. So poor ball into the middle. Second attempt. Hercules with a header over. Hitting the crossbar. And we're going to get the team in. Try and gear them up at half time a little bit. So pump the fists. Tell them it's a good opportunity to impress the media. But Hercules looking nervous. So we'll tell him to just chill out a little bit. It's not done anything for him though. And we'll give it 10-15 minutes before we make our second substitution. City trying to come forward early on. Clear the first attempt. Clear the second attempt halfway. City still retaining the ball. And what a ball that is through to Haaland. And Carvajal with an excellent save. He's growing his Carvajal. Starting to fulfill his potential now that he's getting a good run of games. It's looking like the €40 million signing that we initially brought him in for. And we're not going to mark Erling Haaland, or we're not going to man mark him anyway, at least. I think he's a little bit too dangerous for that, especially three attacking midfielders behind him. So we'll make our substitution now. After all the praise I was giving Vargas earlier on, he's not really doing it today, so we'll swap them two over, bring Gonzalez on. I think we'll also take Hercules off in the midfield, bring Harvey Barnes on, who is actually leaving at the end of the season, by the way. Don't think I mentioned that earlier. He's out of contract. He's been here since the start. So I kind of figured rather than trying to sell him, we'll just let his contract run down. He's a reasonable squad player, so kept him around till the end of the season for that reason, but he's earned it. He's definitely earned his choice of club wherever he goes next. Not currently agreed a transfer as yet, but very disappointing game this has ended up being. 0-0 between us. A point each doesn't really do us anything either way. So, it's a bit of an indifferent team talk. Very evenly matched. City a point behind us. We've got a better goal difference, but Chelsea now can extend the lead at the top. So I'll just come to the schedule. I think, like I said earlier, we're going to come back. We'll skip through the knockout round, first round, come back for the Carabao Cup final against Spurs at the beginning of March. So if you have enjoyed the episode, do leave a thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel for more Football Manager content on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.